प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच गगन दमामा बाजो परयो निशाने का खेत जो मांडो सूरमा अब जूजन को सूरा सो पहचानिए जो लड़े दीन के हेत पुरजा पुरजा कट मरे कब हूँ ना छाड़े खेत पुरजा पुरजा कट मरे कब हूँ ना छाड़े खेत दे सेवा बर मोहे है शुभ कर्मन ते कब हूँ ना डरो ना डरो अर्जो जब जाए लरो निश्चय कर अपनी जीत करो आरे सिख हो अपने ही मन को एह लालच हो गुण तो चरो जब आव की औध निधान बने अत ही रण में तब जूझ मरो जब आव की औध निधान बने अत ही रण में तब जूझ मरो धन धन सच्चे पातशाह महाराज जागदी जोत बाणी के बोहित कलजुग के जहाज खंडा ब्रह्मंडा दे मालिक राजान राज भानान भान देवान देव उपमा महान धन धन सच्चे पातशाह जी महाराज धन धन साहिब श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब जी पातशाह महाराज जी की पावन हजूरी विच जुड़ बैठी साध संगत जीओ आओ सब तो पहला कलगियां वाले सतगुरु जी दसम पातशाह गहे ऐसी खड़क दिखाए उनको सके ना झेला वाह वाह गोबिंद सिंह आपे गुरु चेला गुरु साहिब जी की पावन फतेह जिदी जुबान ते फतेह उदी जहान ते फतेह ते जिदी रग च फतेह उदी जग च फतेह हुंदी है। सो गुरु साहिब जी की पावन बुलंद फतेह की सांझ पाइए जी सारे जाने गज के आखो वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। सो दास नूं हुक्म होया सी कि जो इत्थे प्रोग्राम चलदा है जिस दे विच हर महीने जे मैनूं गलती ना लगदी होवे तां हर महीने कोई ना कोई बाहरों स्पीकर इंग्लिश दे विच आन करके इत्थे संगतां नाल संबोधन हुंदे ने। सो दास दी भी सेवा लाई गई सी। सो सब तो पहला दास धन श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब जी महाराज का शुक्रगुजार कि गुरु साहिब जी ने अपनी संगत ते अपने चरणों च बहन का ते साध संगत जी दे सन्मुख हो करके कुछ वचन कहण दा सतगुरु जी ने मौका जिहड़ा बख्शिया है। सो गुरु साहिब जी का कोटान कोट धन्नवाद है तो साध संगत जी का भी बहुत बहुत धन्नवाद आप जी ने यह समा बख्शिया। सो just to begin, I was, as I was coming from Birmingham, and on the way I realised that maybe first of all I should also start with an apology, because I was actually supposed to attend a similar programme a month before as well, and for a reason there was a double booking somewhere, so I couldn't make it that time. So I would like to apologise for that to the Sadh Sangat. So for me to be here in front of you, because I've been here once before. I think the Gurdwara was still getting made then, and that was a few years back. So the opportunity was given to me again, and unfortunately I couldn't make it that time. So I would like to apologise to Guru Sahib and Sadh Sangat for that. And also today, as we all know, it's not hidden from anybody that in this month, it's a special month for us to remember a lot of things that have happened. Back in 84 seems to be a year that most Sikhs all around the world will never forget. Even people who are trying to say to us to forget about 1984, what happened, and just move on, even those people themselves will not be able to forget that year, because a lot happened in that year. And for things to move on, for people to move on, there has to be justice, and there has to be some measures put in place to make sure that what happened in 84 doesn't get repeated again. Now, I'm sure you guys have done all your research, and a lot of people, especially through the media these days, through the TV channels, there is a lot you can access, and there's a lot of information, and there are pretty good speakers out there who know the subject inside and out a lot better than I do. And I'm not just saying that to come across as humble, but personally speaking, that it's a subject I know, I would say, still very little of. And there are so many issues that the people out there can express and tell the Sadh Sangat a lot better than I can. But because it's the month when the attack on Harmandir Sahib happened, and also not forgetting Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj's martyrdom as well, so that's what we remember first and foremost, and things that followed in this month. So because of that, I've been asked to speak on 1984 and the countless of shaheeds prior to 84 and since then as well, because it's not something that has stopped or ceased. To this day it carries on. Now, before I carry on, I just want to say that for us to really understand 84, for us to understand what happened, we have to understand the age that we're living in at the moment. So this age of Kal Yug that we live in, because we have a lot of questions sometimes, and the questions that we ask are often the wrong ones. The questions that we often put to people are the wrong questions to ask, and we seem to be going around the loop. I remember watching the various channels that cover the 84 issue around these times, and we have a panel usually, and then people usually phone in as well. And I'm amazed that every year people will come on air and they will ask exactly the same questions as they did before. And maybe that's because those people are new to this information and they're really trying to find out. But it's the same questions over and over again, and it tend to be the wrong questions. They're asking the wrong questions, but they keep coming up over and over again. We need to address certain basic facts for people, and I think it is easy because the climate that we live in, unfortunately, the word extremism and the word terrorism, the word terrorist is quite prominent, and it's very easy to put down a genuine movement by giving it a label of extremism. If you want to wash your hands from the truth, it's very easily done. It's very easy done in this day and age. Why? Because we know that from Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Guru's Bani guides us that, hang on, there is a lot of information out there, but how do we cipher through what's correct and what's not? What are we being fed here? It's the reason why we get these questions asked over and over again, and these are questions, not questions asked to the Indian government by our people, because it's your brothers and sisters who were murdered that day mercilessly. It was your children who were murdered that day. It was your sisters and mothers who were raped that day by the Indian Army. Nobody's asking those questions to the Indian Army. No one's asking those questions to the Indian government, but our own people will ask us the questions. Oh, why was somebody in Harmandir Sahib, in Akaal Takht with a gun? Over and over again. So we rather question a person who is trying to highlight our plight and to highlight the movement, the underground movement that was going on and taking over Punjab, and trying to free us from that. Is the same person we question. Not just question, but we actually label with an extremist and a militant. I'm sure if you watch these programs, you will hear these questions asked over and over again. Simple, same questions over and over. And I'm thinking here that, hang on, if you are the victim, why do you have to defend yourself all the time? Shouldn't you be asking those questions to the oppressor and not the victim? But such is an age that we live in. Guru Sahib puts it really beautifully, and I'm going to read a shabd to put things in perspective and to kind of understand why this happens. Why this happens. So Guru Sahib's shabd, Slok Mahalla Pehla. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. So to really understand the stance of the Singhs, to really understand why we carry a Shastra, to understand, we have to read Gurbani. We have to read Guru's Jivan, how they acted. How did they deal with situations? Before we jump to conclusions and label people, we need to look at our own faith, our own dharma. What does our dharma actually say about when you are pushed against something that you have not control over? Then how should you react? How did the Gurus teach us to react? How did they deal with situations? And if we today now do something different, then you can call us wrong, then you can call us terrorists, then you can call us extremists. If not, then you should listen to what we have to say. That's what I like to say to our people. Because it's easily done. I personally, myself, was of the same thought. I'm going to go into that. That how Guru Sahib comes in your life, and then Guru Maharaj delivers that information to you. That falsehood is, how is that removed? And then that's when the real gyan, the knowledge, then settles in. And that's when you see things as they are in this day and age. So Guru Sahib is talking about this age, and this age is described as Kali Yuga. Yeah? The age of darkness. So Tan Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, this is a shabad from Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Maharaj is saying, Kal ka slok mahalla pehla, Kal kati raje ka sai dharm pankh kar ud raya. I'm going to read the whole Shabad first and I'm going to go into it. To try and understand why things happen the way they happen. Kood amavas sach chandrama dise nahi keh chadya, hau paalve kunni hoi, adere raah na koi, vich haume kar dukh roi, kahu nanak kin bid gat hui. So, to read the translation of this, I'm just going to read the translation, then try and break it down to try and understand. Kal kati raje ka sai dharm pankh kar ud raya. The dark age of Kal Yuga is the knife. So this age that we live in is like a knife. The dark age of Kal Yuga is the knife, and the kings are the butchers. So the kings, so the people who are supposed to look after our welfare, to make sure that we are safe, who are supposed to look after our safety, our well-being, our rights, Guru Sahib is saying those people, because that's what king's job is. That's what a king does. The king's job is to do that. But what's happened in this age, Guru Sahib is saying that the kings now have become butchers. So those same people who are supposed to deliver justice to you, those same people now are the butchers. So where do you go? I'm going to carry on. Then Guru Sahib is saying, so we have to ask the question, is there nothing right in this world? No righteousness left? Guru Sahib explains, righteousness has sprouted wings and flown away. Ordagi. It's a common saying in Punjabi. You must have, I don't know if you ever come across it. When, parents are telling their kids off, they say, Teri akal ud gayi, meaning you have no akal left, yeah, nowhere to be seen. And righteousness, ud gayi Guru Maharaj kehande, righteousness sprouted wings and flown away. So in this day and age that you're living in, and if you are trying to be righteous, yeah, if you are trying to play by the rules, you're going to find it extremely difficult to do so. Because the Kal Yuga, righteousness is not supported in this day and age. If you do the opposite, then you'll find many people who'll be willing to support you in your cause. Many people. But if you're trying to be righteous yourself, you're going to find thousands and thousands standing against you. You're there alone yourself. So righteousness, to be right in this day and age, Kal Yuga, is extremely difficult. But does that mean we now leave that path and adopt another one? Because we're stuck now, we can't really change this age that we live in. We are born now, so we have to deal with the situation that's at hand. But how do you deal with it? You deal with it with the Guru Sahib's Gyana. What you don't do is ignore Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj's Gyan, ignore your history, ignore your itihas, and try and deal with things on your own. That's when things don't work out. Our biggest tragedy is that most of us don't even understand the reason why Guru Sahib gave us a Shastra. Why Guru Sahib gave us a Shastra? Ask some people, कई कहते शस्त्र पता क्यों रखा, कृपाण क्यों पाई, जे कृपाण नहीं पाएंगे तो फिर भोग किदा लावांगे? For them, that's what a Shastra means, to do bhog to the deg, and that's it. It's not there to use. Guru Sahib hasn't given us the Shastra to use. Oh no. No. I'm just saying this is our mentality that has become. How has that happened? That's happened because we keep bombarded with the philosophy that is not our own. We keep getting bombarded and fed things that shape our thinking, that shape our mind, but hasn't come from Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, hasn't come from the Gurus. That's why we are so misled. That's why we keep going around in circles and nothing gets done. Nothing gets done. That's why we are in a situation that we are in, because we fail to realize that what Guru Sahib has given us and the purpose he has given it for. The sooner we realize that, the sooner we get to know Guru Sahib, I think the better. And if we want change, if we want things to improve, not just for us living in this country, but for your brothers and sisters living elsewhere, especially in Punjab. I remember when I was at the rally last week, a woman from the BBC asked me that question, said, why do you support Khalistan? Because I was wearing a t-shirt. Yeah, a lot of people wearing a t-shirt, so I said, I'll get one as well. So I was wearing one as well. So she's saying, why, you're not going to live there, so why do you support? I said, okay. I said, your government, okay, your government now, right, has gone into, they've gone into Iraq, they've gone into Afghanistan, yeah? They've gone into Libya, they sent troops in. Why? They're not going to live there. You're not going to live there. But your tax money is going there to liberate those people, to help those people, and you're not going to go there. Why don't you ask for your tax money back from the government? Say, I don't support this. Why is your government now all of a sudden interested in Syria? Those same people who say to us that, oh, you can't have guns, you can't have weapons, the same people are sending heavy artillery, selling these weapons to those countries themselves, sending troops in themselves. Why? Because we have to go in and get extremism out. We have to go and help those people. We have to go and liberate those countries. We have to do that. So even they realise the importance of a Shastra, but we don't, because we are brainwashed. Now please don't take this the wrong way. I am not trying to say that you guys go out and buy guns, things like that. Please, I'm not saying that, okay? Because I'll be in a lot of trouble, right? I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say to you is that your gurus carried guns, your gurus had weapons, right? So now, are we going to start calling our own gurus extreme? Are we now going to start calling Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Maharaj an extremist, a terrorist? Because just by owning a gun to defend yourself is a crime and it's extreme, then Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji was extreme. People ask that question, and I'm amazed that each time this question comes up, that why was there shastras, weapons, guns at Akaal Takht Sahib? Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji, with him, used to have 80 Singhs with him, armed with a matchlock rifle. At Akaal Takht Sahib, Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji himself, 80 Singhs Shastratari, sorry, 60 Singhs armed with matchlock guns at Akaal Takht Sahib. And you know what Guru Sahib used to say to people? Guru Sahib used to say, if you're going to come and see me, if you're going to come and see the Guru, if you're going to come and pay respect to your Guru, then bring me horses, then bring me shastras. Yeah? Bring me guns. So now, we should really call Guru Sahib an extremist as well. Because if that's all that's needed, so he definitely fits the criteria then, let's ask that question as well. I'm sure if people like us were around in those times, they might have been there as well. Would have asked Guru Sahib the same question. Guru Sahib, तुसी छड्डो एवें, तुसी वाहिगुरु जपो, एवें क्यों तुसी बंदूकां मंगाई जन्ने आ? You don't need banduka. Guru Sahib, you turn extreme. Who are you listening to? Yeah? You've been brainwashed by someone, Guru Sahib. What I see Guru Sahib no keh rahi hai. The point I'm trying to make is, is that your Guru is not wrong. The message that your Guru has left you with, the rat that Guru Maharaj has left you with, the code of conduct that Guru Sahib has left you with, is not wrong. It's not galt. Just because we don't understand it, because we are being conditioned by what we hear outside, what people want us to hear, because our minds are so conditioned in that way, everything, our own practices will seem extreme to you. Your own practices, our mind. Yeah? I was watching this documentary, and I mentioned this before as well. When you go into a supermarket, yeah, you have the music playing. That's not just there to entertain you. That's not there to entertain you. That's there to keep you as long as possible and make you buy more things, because it's working on your mind. So from the moment you step out, you search this yourself. Yeah? You search this yourself. You probably, I think everyone's a victim of this. When you go into a supermarket, you get your trolley, and you come back with more stuff than you actually went in for. It happens. Because your mind's being conditioned in such a way. Yeah, keep earning your money, keep spending it. Yeah, everything's fine, everything's rosy, everything's lovely. Okay, don't need to think about anything. Okay, just have your food, have your chips, have your beans, and then fine, everything's good. The world's brilliant. And then what do? Yeah, the world's brilliant. I've got my chips, I've got my beans, I've got my pizzas. Everything's fantastic. Yeah, everything's good. The point is that we get so comfortable. Yeah, it's not about the food, it's not about the chips, and it's not about anything else. It's just that you're conditioned to feel so comfortable in whatever capacity that you're living in, that you choose to just stay in that little cocoon, you choose to stay in that little bubble and not do anything, not act out. One of those two people who do act out, extremist, doesn't fit the bill. Yeah, doesn't fit the bill. Ask intelligent questions to the people that you should be asking those questions to. So, coming back to Guru Maharaj's, Guru Granth Sahib Ji Pasha Maharaj's Shabad. So, before I do that, there is a car, someone's blocking the way, so it's a R-A-T-P-E-N, R-A-T-P-E-N. If that's your car, then please remove it because it's blocking someone else. So, coming back to Guru Maharaj's Upadesh, Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj's Upadesh. So the point is that before we understand what happened in 84, we need to understand what the actions of Santaji, the actions of all the Singhs, yeah? Why did General Sabha Singh, yeah, such a high-ranking officer, okay, chooses, okay, I remember people used to say, that's just Pendu Soch. Santaji has got a Pendu Soch. Because he's not well-educated, right, when he speaks, all these people from the Pind, they just gather around and they're so easily fooled by him because they're uneducated as well. With Santaji, a highly decorated officer of the Indian Army, okay, he's not Bindu. He has a, you can't say that his Soch is Bindu. He's not well educated. He's not Padhya Likhya. Yeah? He hasn't seen the world. He hasn't stepped out of his bend. For somebody like that to listen to Santaji and realise that what actually Santaji was talking about is what's actually happening around and people are asleep. He's trying to wake people up. Countless of well-educated students, people with degrees, used to go and see Santaji. Now, they weren't Bindu, but It's just a way, it's a tactic to destroy a movement. They say they're just a bunch of hotheads and they just got together and they're just waving their guns about because they're extreme, they're terrorists, and let's stick to that narrative and everything will be fine. Yeah? You don't need to do anything. Go back to sleep. Yeah? Go back to sleep. But Santaji was trying to wake people up. The righteousness that sprouted wings and had flown away, Santaji is trying to hold on to that and remind you that it is your duty as a Gursikh to stand by righteousness and not leave it. Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj carries on and he says, Kood amavas sach chandrama dise nahi keh chadya. In this dark night of falsehood, the moon of truth is not visible anywhere. Doesn't mean it's gone, the truth has gone. It's just that it's not visible anymore. It's not visible anymore. Now this is our plight at the moment. Those people who do feel something in their heart. You know, those thousands and thousands of people who turned up at Hyde Park last week. Yeah, they feel something. Yeah, they might not have been there, and some of the people that were there at the rally weren't even born in 1984. Born, much after, but they were there. Yeah, with the placards, with the posters, because they feel something for their own people, for humanity. Right? So the truth is still there. The truth hasn't just vanished. It's just that we can't see it at the moment. It's unfortunate, really, but the truth is there. Those people feel something. You feel something. That's why you're here. And those of you who went to the rally, it's because you feel something. But it's just that we don't know what to do. So Guru Sahib is explaining our situation perfectly here. He's saying that I have searched in vain and I'm so confused. Yeah, I am so confused. In this darkness, I cannot find the path. Which is also a sort of situation at the moment, because we're kind of like stuck. We just don't know. People are doing things, but people believe that not enough has been done, or the right things are not being done, because we're living in an age of Kali Yuga. Those people that you're asking to give you that justice, right? Those are the same people who are there with the knife, yeah? Ready, if not already, have cut many people's throats already. The British government, the recent documents that came out, for 30 years we've been going on this march and we've been asking our government to intervene. We were saying to our government, yeah, we know Indian government, they're trying to kill us all, yeah? But you guys, we have faith in you. We know that you will help us. What happens? Documents come out, the reality comes out. The kings have become butchers. Yeah? Guru Sahib is saying, it's not made up. Guru Sahib said the kings have become butchers. Truth has come out. When the truth has come out, what the truth is that those same people that we've been asking to help us, those were the same people that he went in and gave advice, maybe a lot more. This is what they're telling us. Yeah? Even they're implicated in it. So where do you go? So Guru Sahib is telling us here, I have searched in vain and I'm so confused, because this is what happened when those documents came out. People were confused. They hang on. Sikhs fought and died for this country. Okay? When the British needed us, yeah? When they needed us to die for them, then they were very happy to recruit us and send us to the forefront, yeah? To the front lines and get shot in the name of the Queen, yeah? But when the Sikhs needed the help. What did they do? They went in and supported those people who were trying to kill us. So where do you go? I'm trying to put, not trying to put a negative, gloomy, sort of slant on everything, but I'm talking about the reality. Because Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj will talk about the reality. Talking about the reality is not negative. How do you deal with the reality, positive or negative, that's up to you. But looking at a situation, that's not negative. We know who's implicated, we know who's involved. That's pretty much everybody they can think of. Who knows what other governments were in on it? Who sold what to the Indian government? Yeah? And what deals were made? We don't know. Those documents are still hidden. The ones that were discovered, yeah, they tell us a little bit about them, but the rest they keep and say, oh, they were destroyed. How convenient. So, going back to Guru Sahib, yeah, because we have to come back to Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. There's nowhere else we can go for guidance, right? There is no place for us. There isn't a person you can trust in this world, nobody, apart from your Guru. If there is one person you can trust, it's your Guru. So, don't trust anybody else, don't trust any of the politicians, don't trust nobody, but trust the Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Trust your Gurus, trust the history of the Gurus. Trust your own itihas. How did Guru Maharaj used to deal with oppression? What was Guru Maharaj's reply to the oppressors? How did he deal with it? I remember talking to somebody and they said, oh, we like Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. Oh, he was all peaceful and we like him. Not too sure about Guru Gobind Singh Ji though. People say that. And I was gobsmacked thinking, how do you answer that question? What do I say to him? All right, keep liking Guru Nanak Dev Ji and leave Guru Gobind Singh Ji out of it. What am I supposed to say to that? If people don't realise that it's the ek jyot, ikkoi jyot ya. It was the same Guru Nanak Dev Ji, the same Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj's soch. You know the shabad that we read, Jo to prem khelan ka chao, sir tar tali gali meri aao, it marg pair tarijai sir dijai, kaan na kijai. You know who wrote that shabad? Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj wrote that shabad. That's going to take a head. Yeah? It's not easy. I don't need wishy-washy people. Yeah? I need people who are serious about what they want from life. Yeah? They're willing to die for it. To keep Sikhi, to keep your faith, right? It's not easy. So ki gal nahi hai, Guru Maharaj doesn't want people who will sell their faith. Maharaj कहते नहीं, जे सिर देना आ, फिर आई, जे सिर नहीं देना, तो दुनिया जो भी बथेरे तुरे फिरते हैं, just go and join them. It's going to take a head. If you're willing to give your head, only then come on this path. Otherwise, there's various different paths in this world. Go and join something else. It'll probably be easier for you. Don't fool yourself. Guru Maharaj is not saying that in a disrespectful way. Guru Sahib is trying to fit you where you will fit. If you're not going to fit in Sikhi, Guru Sahib is saying you fit somewhere else. But if you want to fit in Sikhi, just Sikh banana for Guru Sahib kehna sir dena pena. So we're going to call Guru Nanak Dev Ji extreme now as well. What Guru Nanak Dev Ji is saying? He stood against Babur. Babur was the oppressor. Guru Nanak Dev Ji didn't just stay quiet and said, okay, this is not my job. My job is to go and spread Sikhi. My job is to go and say to people, say Satnam Vaheguru and everything will be okay. It's not my place to go and stand in front of Babur, the invader who's come. Guru Nanak Dev Ji stood firm in front of Babur and he told him exactly what he was to his face, and that's recorded in Gurbani. And he was put in prison for that. He was put in prison for what he stood up for. Isn't that what the Singhs did? Isn't that what people like Bhai and the Singhs, we all, Bhai Gurdwara Singh, why did he go on hunger strike? Because those people are still in prison, in jails. Why? Because they stood for justice, like how our gurus used to stand for justice. So are we going to call Guru Nanak Dev Ji extreme as well now then? Go to Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Go to your history first before you start labelling people into terrorists. Or why was he carrying a gun in Akaal Takht? We hear that question on a loop. It's like, you know, one of those things where you just know it's coming and you just mime to it as well, because they're going to say exactly the same words. Who are these people? Those are people who want to keep you in the dark. Keep asking the wrong questions so that there's not enough time to ask the right questions to the right people. Keep questioning yourself. Recently, I was in Punjab, and this is the extent that how the government has destroyed people's thought, your thinking, your mentality is this. Speaking to this one guy, and he said to me, he goes, you guys have nothing bad to do in England. You got money, you got cars, you got houses, you got nothing better to do, so it's easy for you guys to go and shout Palestine, shout this, shout that. It's easy for you guys to do that. Here is fine. My brother's married to a Hindu Kudi. She comes to the Gurdwara, he goes to the Mandir. It's fine. I go to the Mandir when I need to, and they come to the Gurdwara. It's fine, everything is fine. Everything is good. Why do you have to kick up a fuss because you got nothing better to do? I said, okay, that's how you choose to live your life, but what about those people? Say, we're asking for justice. We're not asking that you shouldn't be going to the Mandir, or they shouldn't be coming to the Gurdwara. This is not what we're fighting for. This is not what the plight is. The plight is for justice. Thousands and thousands of people were killed, butchered, and your sisters, your mothers were raped in 84. We still not got justice. That's why we go and scream. He goes, but you guys killed that Indira Gandhi as well, so it makes it okay. And I was gobsmacked. So here's a guy sitting there, living in Punjab, saying to me that it's okay that the mobs went around and burned every single house, a Sikh house, a business, a Sikh person was dragged and beaten and burnt alive whilst the rest of the family watched, and then the mothers and the daughters were stripped naked and they were raped and they left to die. That's all okay because we killed Indira Gandhi. That's fine, he said. That's what you get. Apna Sikh saying that to me. This is what they've done to your soch. So those people come and ask those questions, that's where that's leading. That mentality. It's our own fault. Why were they doing this? Why were they doing that? They're not asking the right questions here. If you're not going to ask the right questions, you're not going to get the right answers. You will be in darkness. Guru Sahib ne kiya, I have searched in vain and I'm so confused in this darkness and I cannot find the path. Don't be misled. Guru Sahib naal judna, Guru Granth Sahib Ji. What was Sant Jarnail Singh Ji's main motive, main maqsad? What was he doing that the government didn't like? What was it? Obviously he was speaking for the rights of the people. But you know what they didn't like? They didn't like the fact that when people from the Pinds came and listened to Santaji's speeches, those same shrabis, they should drink and do drugs, and they were destroying their lives. Those people should come and listen to Santaji and used to take Amrit. Amrit shakde sige. Thousands and thousands of Singhs and Singhniya were taking Amrit. Nashe chhadde sige. Shrab chhadde sige, nashe chhadde sige. And they were joining the Khalsa force. And they didn't like that. They said, we don't want that. We don't want you guys off drugs. We don't want you guys of alcohol. This is what we want you to be on. Easier for us to control you. We don't want you to become independent thinkers. This is not what we want. You go to Punjab now, I've just recently been, and we went to a few schools to do a few camps there, speaking to the kids, asking them the problems, what's going on. And you know, a lot of them came up with this. They said, Buddy, my friend or my neighbour, they're all on drugs. Every single kid I spoke to knew somebody, either a friend or a neighbour or somebody. Well, these kids were 11, the camp was from 11 to the age of 17. So in that age bracket, they knew their friends, their neighbours were on drugs, being destroyed. They've already destroyed your thinking by making you think that you deserve everything that you had in 84, and more so. And then the people who are left, they're killing themselves. Guru Sahib is saying, I have searched in vain and I'm so confused in this darkness. I cannot find the path. Those people cannot find the path. Nahi labda. What did Santaji do? Got those people off drugs. Sikh bande. Not just a Sikh, but a changa shahri banda. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਨਸ਼ਾ ਛੱਡੂਗਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਚੰਗਾ ਬਣ ਹੀ ਗਿਆ ਸ਼ਹਿਰੀ ਵੀ ਚੰਗਾ ਹੀ ਬਣੂਗਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਭਲਾ ਹੀ ਕਰੂਗਾ ਮਾੜਾ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾ ਕਰੂਗਾ ਚੋਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰੂਗਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਮਦਦ ਹੀ ਕਰੂਗਾ but no, I don't want that. Much rather you kill yourself with drugs, with alcohol. That was one of the main things Santaji used to do. Obviously he used to speak about what was going on with the Sikhs, our rights were being violated, but this is how he used to deal with the situation. Yeah, he didn't used to say to people, that's it now, doesn't matter who you are, just go and kill a few people. Here's a list, take a list from me and kill a few people. No. But this is what people would want you to think. That's what Santaji used to do. Santaji touched and improved thousands and thousands and thousands of lives. If Santaji wasn't there at that point, at that time, you know, like they're saying in the next 10 years or 20 years, I think it's going to be even earlier. And then the Punjab that is there now, right, is going to become a desert, and that Punjab that we know as a breadbasket for the rest of India, right, and those same people living there will be starving to death. And they already do. Why? Because their kids are on drugs. If Santaji didn't do the prachar back then we're saying now from 10 years, right? But this would have happened a long time ago. The soch is pretty much, the thinking, the mind is pretty much dead. The people that, you know, that obviously there are Gursikhs, Chardi Kala Gursikhs in Punjab, but I'm talking about the everyday Joe, right? Who just goes about their business, okay? You can say those people who should be the future of Punjab, their soch is killed off pretty much. Not, I'll repeat myself again, not trying to put a negative slant on things, but the situation is this, like I said. But for us, it's how we deal with it, right? And Guru Sahib finishes off here, and Guru Sahib says, Kaho Nanak, no, sorry, before that, Guru Sahib is saying, Vich home kar dukh roi. And this is I think this is this is what the problem is, the hankar, the ego. Yeah. And before we come into Guru Maharaj's sanctuary, when we matha tekna, the matha tekida, matha tekna, that means you are surrendering yourself to Guru Maharaj. You're surrendering your thinking, your soch to Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj de charna ch apna mastak taan chukaida ya bi Guru Sahib ji mera man jehda hai na apne charna ch rakhiyo. But we don't do that. It's egotism, ahankar jehda hai, and that's so prevalent in us, in our communities. Unfortunate that we are not willing to listen to our brother. Yeah. If somebody who's got, I'm not saying this about everybody, but this is what, you know, I've been Amritari for the last almost 20 years now, and this is, you know, what I come across from people, that they generally don't understand you. They generally, our own people will not understand, will automatically, when they see you in a gold star or a, again, that's not everybody. Yeah, there are some fantastic people as well who know their things, who have the knowledge. But what I have to deal with on a day-to-day basis is those people. And I'm thinking, if we are so involved and busy with just trying to deal with our own people, trying to tell our story just to our own, we got no chance of telling our story to the rest of the world and getting some sort of justice. Why is that happening? Because our people are not willing, that egotism, that ahankar, they're not willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. Say, hang on, why did actually that happen? I should go to the rally and find out. Countless people I speak to, what you're going to, that's not going to achieve anything. I don't go, I don't agree with any of that, I'm not going to go. A lot of people say that. Our own people will say that. And what chance do we have? We have no chance of telling the rest of the world. If we can't even convince our own people, what chance do we have trying to convince anybody else? How are we going to do that? By having Gyan Khadg, Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. What did Sant Ji used to do? Ki kehde hunde si Sant Ji? Nashe chhaddo. Nashe chhaddo. Kes rakho, Amritari bano. That's what Sant Ji used to say. That's what Sant Ji used to say. Hor nahi si koi Sant Ji, jehda the rest of the prachar was after. But anybody who came and saw Sant Ji, that's what Sant Ji used to do. What was he actually trying to say to people? He was not being an extremist and saying, no, I'm not going to speak to you because you haven't got the star on your head. I'm not going to speak to you because you haven't got daddy. He wasn't being extreme. What he was trying to say to you was, before you come and try and find out what I'm all about, you should try and find out what you are all about, what your guru is all about. Only then you stand a chance. Only then you stand a chance. He was trying to link you to your guru. But people, out of egotism, hankar, he's an extremist. How can you say that? The last line, Kaho Nanak kin bid gat hui, says Nanak, how will they be saved? It's that question here. Kidda, how will they be saved? Those people, जिन्ना ने शहीदियां पाइयां, so those people who laid down their lives for Guru and for the Sikhi Siddhant. Now those people we remember, and those people who went there, I was reading an account of various accounts. One of the accounts was that this guy bought a new truck. And when you buy a new car, you go to the Gurdwara, get an ardas done, yeah? So he bought a new truck, and he had a baby boy as well, was born. He was about 2 months old. So he said, okay, let's go to Darbar Sahib. Matha Tekane. He took the truck, his mother, his wife, and the 2-month-old baby with him to go and do darshan at Harmandir Sahib, at Darbar Sahib, yeah, at Golden Temple, got caught up, and he was shot, he was killed, the mother was killed as well. And even the 2-month-old baby had a bullet in him. 2-month-old baby had a bullet in him. The mother was left. The army took the mother, raped her countless of times, and they just threw her out. She's the one who told this story, the one who got away. So many people that happened to that day. 60 students from a school and 3 teachers, 2 female and 1 male, brought those kids to Harmandir Sahib to do darshan, to tell them about the Shahidi of Tan Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj. 33 of those children were shot dead that day. Their 2 teachers along with those 33 killed children, and then the army took the one that was left, the female teacher, and she knew her fate. The army raped her again and again, and she tells her story. Recently on the news, I don't know if you've been watching the news, William Hague and Angelina Jolie, she was addressing people trying to say stop using rape as a weapon of war. They should do that in India. It happens now even. It's on the news. And you know those ministers who're supposed to look after the welfare of women, right? You know what they say? You must have read the quotes, and I can't believe what I'm reading sometimes. They say sometimes rape's right, sometimes rape's wrong. So this is the country, right, that we say is Swatantra Raj, it's a republic, democracy, sorry. And they're saying this. So what chance do we have of actually getting justice? Guru Sahib ne siddha kehta, I have searched in vain and I'm so confused. Okay? In this darkness, I cannot find the path. Okay. Now, I'm just going to close here. I've, said a lot of things. I've said a lot of things, right? But what do we do? Because I didn't want to repeat a lot of the things that you hear already. Okay? Probably did repeat a few of the things that you do. But I tried to look at it from a point where what should we do and what does Guru Sahib tell us? What does our Itihas tell us? What can you do now, yeah, to help those? What can you do? If you're really serious, then please take note what I'm about to say to you. If you really want to help. ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਦਦ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ ਨਾ, ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸ਼ਹੀਦਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ, because at this point, I'll be honest, I can't put my faith in anybody, any of these leaders that are out there. I can't do that. Because I know that they're going to let us down at one point or another. But who's not going to let you down is Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj will never let you down. People will. So what can you do? Who can you turn to? Right? Turn to your Guru. Turn to your Guru Maharaj. Turn to Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. And for those, I remember reading Sant Baba Harnam Singh Rampur Khede Wale. And he was a Mahapurkh on an amazing avastha. And he said he used to do Ek Chaupai Sahib da Paath every day for the Panth because he knew what was coming. Ek Chaupai Sahib da Paath for the Panth. Yeah? So if you want to do something for the Panth, yeah? If you want to do something then do ek chaupai sahib da part every day for those souls and for the Panth now, if you really want to help. Because personally, I don't know what else to suggest to you. I don't know what else to suggest other than turn to your Guru and Gurbani. If you really want to do something, ਘੱਟ ਤੋਂ ਘੱਟ ਇੱਕ ਚੌਪਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਪਾਠ ਪੰਥ ਲਈ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ. So if you don't do it already, then please ਅੱਜ ਤੋਂ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮੈਂ ਹੋਰ ਤੇ ਕੁਝ ਕਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ, ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ. ਇੱਕ ਪਾਠ ਚੌਪਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ. To do that at least if you really want to help. Because I personally, other than turn to Gurbani, other than turn to Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, other than do ardas to Guru Maharaj, that give us that leadership that we've lost. Yeah? Give us that path back that once was lit, that we could see, but now it's lost in darkness. If you want to do that, we're going to have to do ardas to Guru Maharaj, because there's nobody else I can see at this point that we can turn to. Our Guru should be your first point of call anyway. So I've probably said things that in Guru Maharaj's Hazuri are inappropriate. If you didn't like what I said, then I beg for forgiveness, ask for forgiveness. There's so many things, I had so many things going on in my head, but it's the summer is not there, the time is not there. So if you are going to take anything away from this, that what Sant Ji used to say to people, be Guru naal judna hai, that's what you should be doing. Guru naal judan da jatan, Guru naal judna. Je tusi Guru naal jud gਏ ਫਿਰ ਪੰਥ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜ ਗਏ. ਜੇ ਪੰਥ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜ ਗਏ ਨਾ, ਜੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਪੰਥ ਨਾਲ ਅੱਜ ਜੁੜ ਜਾਣ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਪੰਥ ਦੀ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ. ਮਗਰ ਪੰਥ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਜੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਿਆ ਹੋਊਗਾ. ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇ ਪੰਥ ਵੱਖਰਾ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾ, ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਆ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪੰਥ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁਰੂ ਵਸਦਾ. ਸੋ ਜੇ ਪੰਥ 'ਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹੋਣਾ, ਜੇ ਪੰਥ ਦਾ ਭਲਾ ਸੋਚਣਾ ਤੇ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਤੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਮਗਰ ਪੰਥ 'ਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਵੀ ਹੋਣਾ. ਸੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ and Sant Ji used to say, ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕਣਾ, ਰਹਿਤ ਰੱਖਣੀ. That's what Sant Ji's message used to be. Yeah? And I'm only going to repeat what Sant Ji used to say. And it wasn't something that he made up. That's been going on for centuries. Yeah, he just reminded us of that you have no chance. You have no chance of getting any justice without your Guru. Guru wale bano, te Gurbani da asra lao and ardas karo. And Guru Maharaj ਤਾਂ ਪੰਥ ਦੀ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਹੋਣੀ. Okay, so ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ, ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਬਖਸ਼ਣਯੋਗ ਹੈ. ਸੋ ਜਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਗਲਤੀਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ, ਕੋਈ ਲਫ਼ਜ਼ ਐਸਾ ਆਖਿਆ ਗਿਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਪਾਇਆ ਹੋਵੇ, ਸੇ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਦੇ ਚਰਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਹੱਥ ਜੋੜ ਕੇ ਮਾਫੀ ਮੰਗਦਾ, ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਨੀ ਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਆਪਣੀ ਇਸ ਪਾਵਨ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਇਹ ਸਟੇਜ ਹੈ, ਕੋਈ ਮਾੜੀ ਮੋਟੀ ਮਾਮੂਲੀ ਸਟੇਜ ਨਹੀਂ, ਇਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਸਟੇਜ ਹੈ. ਇੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਮਾੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਬਹਿਣ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਮੌਕਾ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਵੇ ਨਾ, ਤੇ ਬੜੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਭਾਗ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ. ਸੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਾਏ ਨੇ. ਸੋ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਚਰਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਸੀਸ ਝੁਕਦਾ, ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਨ, ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਦਿਦਾਰੇ ਕਰਾਉਂਦੇ ਰਹਿਣ. ਸੋ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਬੇਅੰਤ ਭੁੱਲਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਾਫੀ ਬਖਸ਼ਣੀ. ਆਓ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਰੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਬੁਲਾਈ ਜੀ, ਗੱਜ ਕੇ ਆਖੀਏ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ.